Most Europeans want to stand with Kyiv against Moscow, poll suggests.
Here's a summary of the article.
Majorities across Europe think Russia will invade Ukraine in 2022 and believe both NATO and the EU should stand by Kyiv, according to a study whose authors suggest the crisis could end up dramatically changing the way Europeans view their security. The data suggests something of a geopolitical awakening in Europe, said Mark Leonard, director of the European Council on Foreign Relations, which carried out the polling in 7 countries, accounting for 2/3 of the EU's population. EU states have been portrayed as divided, weak and absent on Ukraine, but European citizens are united. They agree Vladimir Putin may pursue military action, and that Europe, together with its NATO partners, should ride to Ukraine's aid. European survey. The study's authors said the survey showed there was no longer much truth in the cliché that Europeans believe war is unthinkable and take peace for granted. They perceive their world as being in a pre-war rather than post-war state. The study also showed Europeans were prepared to accept significant, potentially long-term threats as a result of defending Ukraine, including the possible arrival of large numbers of refugees, higher energy costs, economic coercion, cyber attacks and the threat of Russian military action. Respondents in Poland, Romania and Sweden were more likely to say that coming to Ukraine's aid was worth the risk of all these possible consequences, with 53% of those surveyed in Poland in particular saying that supporting Ukraine was even worth the risk of possible military action aimed at their country. Putin may be surprised to see that many Europeans would see another Russian invasion of Ukraine as an attack on not just a neighboring country, but on the European security order itself, the authors concluded.
This post received a score of 4,900, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I used to do polling and have a related degree, so I checked the source. I suspect it's this author is the ECFR. Sample size is more than big enough. TLDR, seems relatively legit. Online only isn't great, but they appear to have corrected for this.
Greater than I used to do polling and have a related degree. The results seem legit. The question to me seems not. Stand with is highly general and there are different levels of military involvement. It seems like the poll in question lacks the specificity to say anything other than at a high level Europeans think Europe should do something. This is a problem seen in many polls. High-level idea has support. But when you define what that idea actually looks like, support fragments. I would hope that Europeans want to fully commit to maintaining Ukraine's sovereignty, but this is the issue I see.
War is bad. Can't imagine anyone would say differently. That said, fuck Russia.
Greater than war is horrible, but slavery is worse. Winston S. Churchill.
War is crazy shit. Alexander the Great.
Don't believe everything you read on Reddit. Sun Tzu.
Believe everything you read on Reddit. Rosa Parks.
All the comments saying that war hasn't started yet. Hello, it's been going on for 8 years.
Well yeah, but blatantly driving in with tanks and whatnot, parading your warships in a nice circle around Europe etc. is a very large step further than the weird stuff that happened so far.
That's exactly what has been happening the last 8 years.
I'd imagine it's because most people learned from history class what happened last time we let an authoritarian state run around annexing all their neighbors with no consequence.
In Europe you don't have to go to school for that. There's still a few grandfathers left who fought in the war that happened partially due to the desire to avoid war.
Wait, what? Nope to that. WW2 happened because Hitler was always going to start it. The exact starting date got influenced by appeasement, but Hitler planned to go to war for years. It wasn't partially caused by trying to avoid it. Right, but the scale of the war could have been 1/10,000th of what it was had appeasement not happened. Had Britain and France put their foot down earlier, or had they actually invaded Germany in 1939 instead of waiting, the war might have been over before it really even started. France actually did launch an invasion into Germany in 1939 and advanced almost completely unopposed. The Germans were completely ill-prepared for it because Hitler thought France and Britain wouldn't actually go to war over Poland. However, the French didn't go through with invading properly and ended up pulling back.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.